Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Robyn. It's so lovely to have you here where we chat all things about gardening and flower farming and starting a backyard business. Lately, I haven't really been filming that much, and to be honest, I just needed a little bit of a break from filming to work through a few things and also just work on the garden and the flower farm as we transition into the cooler months of the year. It's been such a learning curve to go through this season again. This is only our second season here and really the first season that we're actually growing on a really large scale. So I'm really learning how the plants are responding when kind of the transition phase for a lot of the flowers in the flower farm is, and yeah, just basically constantly learning. So a lot of my time has been dedicated towards the garden lately and just observing and learning what's going on and kind of just gauging when to pull out the plants and when to plant new ones for all of the cooler season months. And as a result, I haven't really been filming like structured videos. I've really just been doing jobs in the garden, pottering around here and there, and I have been filming quite a lot of those clips. So I wanted to just put together a video of just some autumn garden jobs, I suppose, and just share a few things that I've been up to in the garden lately. And I realized when I was editing the video that there wasn't much of me actually talking to the camera or even just looking at the camera. It was just a lot of doing things and me getting on with the job. But I did want to just jump in here and say hello to you all and to all of the new subscribers that have come over to the channel. I wanted to give you a very warm welcome and just let you know that you are very welcome here. Welcome to comment, ask any questions. There's just such a great community in the comment section, and I also have a Patreon page if you would like to see extra content and ask me any longer questions where I can dedicate a little bit more time to answering those for you. But yes, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. It's just a mix of different things that I've been up to in the garden. I'm just going to do a voiceover for it to walk you through exactly what I'm doing in each of the video shots. And yeah, I really hope you enjoy. There's lots more videos coming. I do have a market vlog that I have filmed, so that will be next weekend. But if you do have any ideas for content that you would like me to create, you can always leave that in the comment section down below. So make sure to grab a cup of tea, coffee, or another beverage, and definitely a snack for this video. And if you do enjoy this content, I would really appreciate it if you would give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for lots more content. It really does help my channel out and is completely free for you. All right, let's jump into the video and I hope you enjoy. So I thought I would start this video off by just giving a little bit of an overview on what the garden is looking like right now. It's not great. As you can kind of see, there is things growing everywhere. There's tomatoes that I didn't get to harvesting, a lot of bugs, a lot of sad looking plants, and that's just the reality of what the garden looks like when you're kind of transitioning from summer to the winter or cooler months. Now, I do have a lot of work to do in this top garden here. This is my permaculture garden that's right next to the house. Below that, I do have all of my flowers in the flower farm, like some of these dahlias here, which are starting to look very sad. You can see the stems are just not strong at all, but I am still getting a few good ones that I have been selling down at my local garden centre and my local village market as well. The salvia here, the bees have just been adoring this and it's just so pretty. The foliage and also the flowers, the ants and the birds and the bees have been loving this plant, and it's really striking, the flowers right now. It kind of reminds me a bit of snow, and it's just beautiful coming into the cooler months. The patch of zinnias that you can see here, it's looking very sad. It has so much mildew and these are going to come out within the next week or so. So I'll be doing a video sharing a transition from the zinnias prepping the beds and planting them for autumn and winter. I'm probably going to be planting my ranunculus in here, I think, which I share in this video how I'm planting the corms and what they look like. I also spotted the first daffodil the other day, and it's looking a little sad now after the rain, but I thought it was really funny because it's kind of like not quite the time when you'd expect to see them. I do love the smell of them, so I'm always going to enjoy that, but I just thought it was interesting, and I've seen so many other daffodil plants pop up around the garden that I'm looking forward to enjoying. Alongside all of the gorgeous lazy afternoons that I'm having with the rain showers that we've been having, it's really lovely to just enjoy the garden and slow down a little bit in these cooler months of the year. So this is me starting all of the ranunculus corms. I have quite a few hundred that I'll be growing this year for the flower farm. I've grown ranunculus once before last year and absolutely loved all of the beautiful colours, so I pretty much got the same mix from Garden Express this time, and this is what the corms look like. They kind of look like little octopus, I don't know, little alien things, but they turn into something beautiful, and I'm soaking these in water for about 3 hours or so, just swirling the water around every 30 minutes to add a little bit of air. And then I'm going to be planting them. So this is the method for pre-sprouting ranunculus corms, which you definitely don't have to do. You can just plant these straight into the garden. But because I have limited space and I still haven't taken the zinnias out, I just have a smaller window of when I can change over all of my plants for the flower farm. So I like to pre-sprout these. It also ensures that I can make sure that the corms are viable, basically, because I'll be able to tell that they will sprout roots and start growing in these trays that I'm sowing them. So just put down some normal standard potting mix down as a base. You can also add perlite or vermiculite. I didn't have any on hand, but that would be really great to add. And then you just make little holes and add them in after they have been sitting in water. The water just makes sure that they're really hydrated before they go into the soil here. I'm just topping them off, but yeah, you don't have to put them in water either. You can just plant them whatever works for you, but this method worked for me last year, so I'm just doing the same. One thing you want to make sure though when you're watering these is to really make sure they don't get too damp, because the corms can tend to rot and grow mold. So you want to have them in an aerated area. That's one thing I learned from last year. Another thing I am doing here is I'm potting up these really sad looking everlasting daisy seedlings, and then I also have all of my anemones as well that I'm growing, and they're kind of similar. I'm planting them similar to the ranunculus. These corms look a little different, but yeah, I'm going to be pre-sprouting these as well so that I know that these are viable to add to the flower farm. So I've been doing a lot of this lately, sitting in a nice shady spot. I usually have a podcast or a YouTube video playing, and I just pot up seedlings and bulbs. For the anemones, they're a little tricky to know what side they should be planted, but you always want to have the pointy end pointed down. Kind of look like little spaceships, but yeah, particularly when they're smaller, it is quite hard to see this. But you know, that they should sprout either way, but generally try and have the flat side on the top with the pointy side facing into the soil. I'm planting these pretty close together, I'm totally aware of that, but you'll see soon what they look like after about 2 weeks or so, and I'm going to be planting these in the ground really soon, probably in the next few days in the present when I'm recording this. And then again, just really lightly topping them with some potting mix, and then I like to just have these sitting outside in the shade to pre-sprout and grow. I put them aside at night though, because we still do have the bandicoot that likes to dig around and be very nosy about what I'm growing. Here I am just potting up those everlasting daisies and a lot of the other flowers that I have. So again, I would probably like to add perlite to this mixture, but I'm just adding the potting mix here right now because I didn't have any. But I got all of this free from the tip, the pots and the trays. So I would definitely recommend finding your local rubbish tip or maybe a garden centre and ask if they have some spare trays or tube stock, particularly like Landcare and other native nurseries. Landcare maybe not, because they might actually need them, but a lot of large landscaping places, they might have a lot of these that they can give you for free. So just have a look around. I wouldn't necessarily go and buy these just because they are so readily available, and they work really well for me. I know people use completely different pots and containers to pot up their seedlings. I just prefer this because that's what I could find that was free. So do whatever works for you. Because the seedlings they were really sad in the seed raising mix, that's why I'm potting these up so that they grow a lot more healthy. I won't be starting them in that seed raising mix again. That's why they look a little sad. But this is what the ranunculus and the anemones look like after about 2 weeks or so of growth. They've grown a lot and are very ready to go in the ground. So this is the anemones here. They're super cute and I love the foliage of these. I didn't realize how fast they were going to grow, so I really need to get my act into gear and prep the beds so that I can get all of these beautiful spring flowers in the ground, and it really won't be long until we will be enjoying bunches and bunches of these very soon. When I usually want a relaxing time in the garden lately, I've just been going out with a bowl and just picking some tomatoes and picking some produce from the garden. We have really had just so much abundance from this permaculture patch, as also have all of the frogs and the wildlife around. But yeah, we've been enjoying so much beautiful produce, so many tomatoes, so much rhubarb, herbs, so much abundance, and it's something that I don't know, I really want to treasure and enjoy these really slow moments of coming out with Scott or just by myself and enjoying harvesting this beautiful food that we've grown. I've been preserving so many tomatoes, freezing so many of them, making some gorgeous meals, and just really enjoying this because they're really on their way out right now, you can see, and it won't be long until I'll be ripping all of these tomato plants out, but I'm just keeping these here for as long as I can. And because we're at the stage where we don't need any more, we have so many, I'm just letting a lot of them ripen on the vine just because they taste the best if you're eating them fresh. And any that don't make it, the bugs and the parrots can have. I really don't mind because we do have so many of them in the fridge and the freezer. A lot of these have holes in them. That's a good one. It's also a really great time to be harvesting seed that has grown from either the flowers or the fruit and veggies that you've grown over the summer months. So this here is some pincushion flowers or scabiosa that I'm going to be saving the seeds from. These are really easy to save. You pretty much just let the flower go and then go to seed, and then you can just really I don't know, just lightly brush off the seeds from the seed head. And I have a very full envelope now of seeds, flower seeds, that I'm going to enjoy for next season and probably just give away to friends and family as well. I'd really encourage just picking 1 or 2 plants that you can save seeds from. Saving seeds definitely can be overwhelming. It's something I don't do for everything. I'll probably try and save maybe some tomato seeds and some other flowers. But it not only saves you a lot of money, but it's a great gift like for Christmas or people's birthdays, or even someone just that visits your house and has a look through your garden. You can just give them something to take home to their garden to then grow, which I think is really special. But it also means that your plants are more likely to retain a lot of characteristics and resistance to a lot of disease and environmental pressures in your specific climate. So saving your seeds for a few generations is really something that's beneficial, and hopefully you'll find that you have much more disease resistant and stronger plants that produce a higher yield over the years that you save the seeds, rather than just buying in seeds that have been grown in completely different climates. So I save a lot of them, and I also just sprinkle some around the garden to self-seed and grow as they please, so that I don't have to plant them. And I usually oversow them if I'm just sprinkling them around, just to make sure that I do get some come up. And I just have abundance throughout the garden, which is what I love with my cottage garden here. Okay, there has been a lot of overwhelm in the flower farm lately, and the weeds are very overwhelming. That's the first thing. I have random flowers that have popped up, like cornflowers, in the pathways that I'm leaving, but in and amongst those, there's zinnias and grasses and just weeds and mess everywhere that I need to deal with. The zinnias have definitely slowed down, but these were ones that I'm trialing to see how far I can push it into the cooler months. Don't know how well they'll go, but you can see they don't look very great in the non-defined garden bed. So I'm trying to take this really easy and just set manageable tasks, like coming down here for 20 minutes, listen to a video and just pull some weeds. I really need to come through and mulch the pathways a lot better and mulch the beds, but that's the job for another day. Today I am just pulling some weeds, and this is typically what I've been doing quite a lot with my time in the garden. Keeping on top of the weeds is something that is always stressful, but doing a little bit each day really does make a difference. Just put on a podcast or something that you like to listen to and just try and get it done. Scott has also been helping me in the garden quite a lot, and I'm so thankful for his help. We do get so much more done when it's the two of us. We do make a good team, I think. And here he is helping me dig all the holes for the raspberries and the berries that we're planting along the support system that my dad put together in the backyard. So this is down the very back of the flower farm area, and we thought that it was a good spot. It retains a lot of moisture down here. The soil is very clay-like, and I think will be really great to grow berries. Berries generally do fairly well in moist environments. You'll see a lot of raspberries and blackberries grow along creek sides, so I'm hoping that they do really well down here. I have raspberries that I just rooted from canes that were actually from a garden job, and they were going to be thrown in the compost, so I saved a few of these and just put them in some pots, and a lot of them took, so I'm going to be planting these. Not too sure what type of raspberry they are, but I'll figure that out soon, I'm sure. And I also do have a loganberry that I'm going to be planting here as well. So the struggle with grass is always annoying. So I'm going to be, we just basically dug a hole, and I'm going to be sheet mulching this with cardboard to kill the grass around all of the raspberries, and then with sugarcane mulch as well that you'll see. But I'm making sure that when I plant the raspberry in, that the base of it is fairly level, so I'm just adding a little bit more of that clay soil back into the hole. It's just going to take time for all of this to slowly break down and become a little bit more well draining, and mulch and adding organic matter really does help that over time. I'm also adding in a lot of worm castings to each hole where we're planting the raspberries to add in just really great organic matter and food for the plants. We have 3 worm farms and so many worm castings that we have been harvesting. The worms were very busy over summer, so I'm just putting quite a bit into the hole. Worm castings is fairly neutral, so it's not going to burn the roots of your plant. I definitely wouldn't add like this much like chicken manure or fertilizer in. You definitely don't need a lot of that, but with worm castings I tend to add a little bit more than necessary just because I have so much. And then I'm just backfilling the hole with a little bit of potting mix just to really make sure that the area is a little bit more well draining so that the roots of that plant can start to grow straight away. And then filling it in with the native soil and kind of tamping it down a little bit so that the plant is nicely snug in there. So I do that with all the raspberry plants that we have in there. And then I am going to be mulching them. So you can see here I'm just using some cardboard to place as close as I can to the plants, and that's going to ensure that as little grass as possible can come up through the cardboard. Placing the cardboard throughout the whole row here, and then I will be adding some sugarcane mulch on top. I like to add quite a fairly thick layer of sugarcane mulch, and this just ensures that the cardboard isn't going to fly away, but also that if in case any grass wants to come up, it's also going to have that layer of sugarcane mulch and just have it all really nice and dark underneath there so that the grass will hopefully die and then just break down, and the worms can process that into soil to then just feed the plants. So as the plants grow, I will just help train them up onto the support, and I think it's going to look really beautiful in the end when we just have a row of raspberries, and hopefully the plants grow well and we can have a lot of fruit. Not too sure how long they're going to take, but I will definitely keep you updated. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it gave you a little insight into just a few things that we've been up to in the garden, getting all of those autumn jobs done. I'm super excited to film a lot more content about the markets and the flower farm, and transitioning out all of these zinnias into ranunculus and starting the whole season again. There's so much going on, and I really appreciate you for watching this video and supporting the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and until my next one, happy gardening everyone. Bye.